It's ANicWin, also known as Amy, and welcome. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a great day, and if not, I hope it's not too late to turn it around. I've built a micro home. Now, I don't think I've ever built a micro home. I think I did a tiny home in Oasis Springs not too long ago, but it was like the next tier up. It was like a tier 2, and this is a tier 1. So it's 32 tiles of livable space. So that includes like obviously the inside of the home, but it also includes porches. And this house does have a 2-tile porch. I had to do that. That feels like a little bit of a waste of space, but I had to do that to make the roofing work. So this is just my brain, okay? This is not like the gold standard of tiny homes, but in my brain, a tiny home is more modern, so my instinct is to go modern with the roof. But I didn't want to do that because I'm in Willowcreek, and while you can definitely go modern in Willowcreek, it just didn't fit the vibe of the world that I'm rebuilding, because I am making a personal save just for my gameplay. It's not going to be shared with the world. Don't get excited. But yeah, so the modern wasn't going to fit. Now, I was trying to make a natural wood tone work, and nothing matches in The Sims, and it was doing my head in. Like, honestly, I wanted to scream. So I try really hard, and then I end up changing everything back to black. So just the accents on the home. Obviously, the whole house isn't black, but I left the natural wood tone door. I think that door is stunning. It's one of my favorite in-game doors, and I think it came with cats and dogs, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I'm fairly certain it did. And then I do a little bit of the landscaping. Now, normally I don't do landscaping because, like, in the beginning, I do the landscaping. I save it for the end. And the thought process behind that is I don't really know typically what I'm going to do to the inside of a build. And if I'm going to include activities on the outside that are going to fit what I do to the inside, I kind of need to know, what to include. And I don't want to have to go back and change things because it just makes life that much harder. Now, I could just go in with a game plan and then I could do the landscaping and I would, solve all of my problems. However, I don't ever have a game plan. I know what the outside's gonna look like. I never, ever, 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 ever know what the inside's gonna look like until I'm in there, because that's just the way that I work. I don't know. I go in and I'm like, all right, we're starting with this room, and then whatever that happens to that room is what the whole house is gonna be. So I make life harder on myself is what I'm saying. That's the summary of that really long explanation. But yeah, so I'm finishing up a little bit of the landscaping. Surprise, surprise, I'm using daisies and more neutral colors. I really just don't like bright, vivid landscaping. It's just not my thing. It's not my shtick. And then we jump into the bathroom. Now, I do change up some of the tile in the kitchen. I was going to use that same brick blue tile situation, but it was just a heavy color and I didn't want to go that heavy. But I liked it as a feature wall in the bathroom because, the bathroom is so open. And I know I just did an open bathroom in my last build. I swear I'm not copying myself, although I could if I wanted to. There was no way for me to make the bathroom work because I didn't want it at the front of the house. I did not want it to cut off those windows. I also didn't want those windows to be in the bathroom, and then I didn't want to have a door into the living room or the kitchen, because it was going to sacrifice counter space / livable wall space. So that was my solution. I'm not saying it couldn't work. You definitely could place a door in there and it would be perfectly fine. It would look fine. It just didn't fit the look that I wanted, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, I tried. I tried. I'm sorry. But I'm giving a little study nook. I was going to do a dining room right here, but then I thought, ew, the bathroom's open. That's disgusting. Like, I'm not putting a dining table by an open bathroom. It's just not happening, dog. That's a no from me. That's a no from me. So I did a study space. This sim in my head is not necessarily a work from home sim, but it's nice to have a designated area for your computer. It's not really great to sit on the couch or the bed all the time. Sometimes you just need a surface. And I give a little trash can. I don't normally include trash cans inside my builds either, but I'm doing that more and more lately too. I don't really know what that's about, but here we are. And then I did place the Murphy bed. I didn't show me placing the Murphy bed because it's kind of a given. It's either the Murphy bed or you have a single bed, or you could do the bunk beds because we did just have that update. But the bunk bed swatches did not match the vibe for this build, but a loft bed would have been super cute. And it would have been super cute. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try it out. We'll see. but I just give a little TV wall. The bed comes down, it does not clip with the TV, it works perfectly. I did test it thoroughly. The only problem is right here I nest the tables, and I get rid of this before I upload it, don't worry, I solved all the routing issues, but that tiny table between the two nested ones, it blocks the Sims access to the bed on that side. Now when you're in such a small home, I didn't want to waste space by having something be inaccessible, so I just deleted that. I put the incense burner on the TV stand, so I'm not losing any items, just a tiny table which you can't use anyway. That was purely for aesthetic, so it's fine. It worked out. And then we move on to the kitchen. I have never done this color scheme in the kitchen. It's a kind of a black and copper, I would say, color scheme, and you're gonna see it all come together because I change out the countertop swatches as well. And I actually gave them another countertop. Typically I only do 2 countertops because that's really all you need in a tiny kitchen, and when you're in such a small home, again, space is like prime real estate. But that was such a bad joke, I'm so sorry, but it's true. Space is a hot commodity, but I felt like, you know, she could have it. She also got a dishwasher, so tiny living does not mean you have to slack on the amenities. Now I will say in the uploaded version that the brewer is on this countertop right here and not on the one that I placed it because there was a small routing issue. I think the shelf was causing it. I'm not really sure. But I'm just placing some knickknacks. I didn't clutter up the kitchen too bad just because again, tiny space. I hate to be redundant, but it's a tiny space. I didn't imagine she had a lot of stuff. I wasn't thinking minimalist by any means, but just what she had fit in the drawers, and that was really all she needed or felt she needed in this tiny home. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's really it for the, oh no, it's not. Okay, so this area, again, I just talked about wasted space. This is totally wasted space. But guys, nothing was gonna work here because the bathroom was open. I didn't want to place a chair because who wants to look into the bathroom? Like a reading nook, you know what I mean? It just, it's not the aesthetic I would want. You know, I don't want to stare at the toilet while I'm reading. That's just not my thing. So I did do a little plant wall. One, it gives privacy from the outside because doing curtains on a 3-window section like that, it just looks awkward. And you'll see, it just looks awkward. So I did curtains on 2 sides, and you just kind of have to pretend that they pull all the way through, and then the plants in the middle. And I think it worked out really well. Honestly, that's one of my favorite places inside the build. The backyard is my favorite of the entire build, and we'll see that in just a moment. But what I do back there, honestly, it didn't even feel like me. It felt like somebody else was taking control of the mouse, and it's like, okay, get on board, Amy. This is where we're going. That sounds super weird, but that's how it felt. It's like an out-of-body experience when things go super well. But I am gonna swap out this mailbox here in just a moment. I felt like the porch seemed a little too cluttered, and so I gave him this one from Seasons, which I think fit the vibe. I didn't want to do the base game Willowcreek mailbox because honestly, the 2 that came with base game are ugly. I hate them. Hate with a capital H. I don't like them. I never use them. I delete them. That's the first thing I delete on a lot. I'm like, get that out of here. I don't like that mess. And then I wrap the landscaping from the back, or from the front all the way through to the back. I just kind of repeat the objects. I'm not gonna lie, I am pattern oriented. I figured that out about myself, but it also, like, it blends in with the world, so I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But one of these days I will be comfortable enough to experiment with landscape in a crazy way, but today is not that day. So this is my favorite feature of the build. I'm giving her an outdoor entertainment area because on the inside, you might be able to fit one other sim in there with you, but like, you know, 2's company, 3's a crowd. So I gave her this back area. She's gonna have a grill as well, but I am using these room dividers and I'm placing these vines on there, imagining, you know, that they're creeping up. And I know, again, it's a little bit redundant because she has a privacy fence. You don't really need the privacy of the room divider, but it kind of gives it the feeling that this is an outdoor room. Do you understand what I mean? I hope you do. I was going to put like not really an awning or a trellis, but something like that, but it would have counted it as a room, the game would have, even though it wasn't. So I just did this, and I think it worked. I think it's fairly creative, if I'm gonna brag on myself a little bit. But I really like the way that it came out. If I had this in real life, I would never leave. Like, I'd be outside all the time. I'd read here, I'd eat here, I'd probably sleep there. And then I wrap the landscaping as per usual, and then I'm gonna do this little corner. Now, this felt like a really open space, you know, what I had left of the yard. And I'm like, okay, how am I gonna tie this in? It's just like a weird postage stamp corner. I don't know what to do. And then I end up like throwing down some items that I know I'm gonna use. So like, you know, I knew I wanted the planner boxes. I knew I wanted the bee box. And I knew I wanted a chess. Is it a chess? Is it chess or checkers? I think it's chess. It's definitely chess. Okay, a chess table. And I put that, is that the plant sim tree stump? Honestly, I hate that item. I don't like the way that it looks. It's similar to the toddler ball pit. It just doesn't look great. I don't like it. But I imagine that was maybe like an old willow tree that, you know, got chopped down and now it's just a decorative feature in the backyard. You're gonna have to excuse my voice. I've been talking a lot. And they left it because it looks good. It's a little piece of Willowcreek history. And then that's pretty much it for the build, guys. I finish up the landscaping and then you'll hit the screenshots. So feel free to let me know what you think. You can leave a comment or you can reach out to me. I am always interested in what you guys think. I will see y'all on Sunday when I post my next video, which will actually be a community lot in San Myshuno. Have a great week, guys. Bye.